right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through September 15th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice Boneless New York strip steaks for $7.99 each. USDA Choice Boneless Beef Crock Pot Roast for $4.99 per pound, fresh salmon fillets for $9.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30 packs for just $18.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for your private and corporate parties. Step inside one of their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human foosball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Experience a cleaner tomorrow with Niederhaus Refuse. Whether it's weekly residential pickups, large-scale commercial disposals, recycling, or roll-off, Niederhaus's team is here with reliable, efficient service and the most advanced solutions. Discover the difference that a committed and experienced waste management company can make. Niederhaus Refuse has been in business for over 100 years and is family-owned and operated since 1921. Call Niederhaus Refuse at 402-475-8361 and visit their website at nbrefuselincoln.com to learn more or sign up for your service today.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bigger Than the Score. I'm Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC and joined here on the ones and twos. He didn't like my nicknames last time, so I'm just going to keep it straight.
No, not really.
The Benzito.
The Benzito?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also go by Ben, but that's fine.
Oh, the Benzito. The Benzito. It's like, what's that one, the TikTok I've been saying? Give me my money.
Give me my money.
There you go. There you go. We got the Benzito, so give me my money. Just kidding, DP. He's doing fine. He's okay. With all that said, glad to have you here on a Sunday morning. Again, we keep getting phenomenal weather. It must be when the Huskers go ahead and win, but you can't ask for much more than that clear near the end of September. And so that temperature fluctuation goes up and down, but glad to have everybody here after a Husker victory in a lot of different ways. We got the Husker football, but also Husker volleyball. And then I believe there might be a soccer game today. I did not check the full schedule. So with that being said, Ben, if people want to get in touch with us, how can they do that?
They can text into the Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, or you can comment on any of our streams. We're streaming YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And then we're also on Owl Channel 961. You can also listen on the app or theticketfm.com. Wherever, be a part of the show. We love that.
So they got a full day of programming. I wonder if DP is he going to be dialing in, because I know he had a week, kind of a weekend of excitement from the Spear.
I have no clue. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's gonna
stay tuned.
It's gonna be awesome to get the debrief on that. But as you can see, we are joined in studio. They have the spillover, so we're gonna have to call it something different. On weekdays, it's called the spillover. On the weekends, I don't want to say, I was going to say the drive-by, but we want to make it something different than that.
I know.
So
the hangover.
Yeah, well, I'm not, we normally have young people in this space. Right now, we're going to go to a quick break.
Yeah,
and go ahead and exit.
We could call it, it's kind of like a brunch, right? Because it's in between two things.
The brunch.
Right,
I like that. I like that much better.
And now we need to get a sponsor. We need to get food in here.
Yes.
The chef
Sunday
of the
morning brunch.
Yeah, there's the chef of the drive, but we're always willing to go ahead and up his NIL.
That's right.
We've got Jeff and Nicole with Farrell's and Fitness Fanatics, and I'm appreciative of them coming in. Had some guests coming in, but because of some illness, we wanted them to go ahead and take care of themselves.
And so, you guys, you actually haven't had that happen very often.
You know what? There's
amazing.
Only been one time that somebody has not been able to make it in the 2 years that we've had.
And didn't you have someone that could come in short?
And then they did they did come in. And so, it's one of those things where
it's inevitable.
Yeah, you've got scholars, but we've got a full lineup. But excited to have you two. We don't get an opportunity as much because I heard you talking about the new 10-week challenge going on. And I was a part of that. And I think about a year ago, give or take a year and a half ago, I think it was right. It was about a year and a half
because we were still in the old studio. That's how I know.
Okay. And so got the opportunity to do that. It was, I will say, honestly, it was transformational. I know people were like, do you still go and this, that? I was sporadic a little bit, but you always talked about it being a jump start to just your fitness. And it was something, I don't want to say struggled with on and off. I mean, just from the time wise, you go from, doing a lot of activities. I had the opportunity to do some small college, as a small college athlete. And so at that point, you got some things where that was just happening. Afterwards, remained active. Then knees kind of let me down a little bit. So wasn't able to do basketball as much, but got into running and did halves and then did four full marathons. And then things kind of broke down again.
That's
and then
hard to do.
Just kind of in your mind, I think it plays more with your mind than it does physically. And so I just want to thank you all because though I'm not coming in person, I still continue to do some things at the house, and it's gotten to the point where I'm consistent, 5 days, 6 days a week, and actually enjoying.
Yeah, and that's what we say a lot on our show too. And I say this to people all the time that our competition isn't other gyms in town. Our competition is the couch. Our competition is the drive-through, Netflix, things that keep people sedentary. So if we have people all the time, every session we have people that I can think of 3 or 4 people this session that are starting that have done the program before. And so we have people who've been doing Farrell's for the whole time that we've been here in Lincoln for 15 years. Jeff and I've never stopped doing Farrell's from when I started 17 years ago. But we have people who come and go, and we would never want anybody to think, oh gosh, there's Jeff and Nicole. I don't go to their gym anymore. I can't talk to them. We still want people to be healthy and active. And I have people that still message me when they have questions about stuff. Like I just had a former member message me last week about, hey, I have a running question. Can you help me? I'm like, absolutely. Message me if you have questions. Like our expertise extends beyond the walls of the gym.
Well, it should. And I think that's one of the
our support
one of the cooler things.
Extends beyond that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the cooler parts about Lincoln too. I mean, we can name a couple different entities where you can go in and shoes. You might need shoes. They're not necessarily, if you can't get the shoes there and they know you can get them online at a different price or whatever else. They want you active. And so, I've always been appreciative to you of that, but more towards gearing towards kind of the show, like bigger than the score. You all have been tremendous advocates for the show. And I'm appreciative. We've had some guests on that I've met at the gym.
Yeah, I love that.
And they're, they're younger. I like to say, I don't say call us old, call those that are over Ben's age, call us seasoned. That saves you from becoming on an Amber Alert or anything. But with that being said, when you think about it being bigger than the score, especially maybe for that, younger age on up to high school, how does fitness become something that's a little bit, that's more than just, the pounds on the scale.
Yeah.
Because I think when you get a little bit older, that's, you're judging it, are you more fit? What does that look like from a weight?
What
how does it become
you wore, how much you weighed 10, 15 years ago.
Fit, or hey, I can fit into my cheerleading outfit, or I can fit in my football uniform. I'm interested, Jeff and Nicole, how is it bigger than the score? Probably bigger than the scale, really, for young people when you have them come into the space.
Oh, you want me to keep talking?
She is the brains of the operation.
Yeah, but I love it when kids come in and do our program, and I know that it's so impactful too, because our kids have done the program. Like our daughter is 21. She's an instructor for us now. And so, but she started when we still lived in Iowa. Our daughter and our son did Farrell's when we lived in Iowa and had a gym there. And I think for them, speaking personally with their experience, because my kids and me too, I can talk about myself, because when I was a kid, I was never competitive enough to really be good at group sports because I just didn't have that competitive drive. And it wasn't until I was in my late 20s that I realized, when I started Farrell's, that you can be athletic without being competitive. And I think that once you make that switch, that's when you have those lifelong, you can find that lifelong love of fitness. And so that was a good space for our kids, because they weren't athletic. They weren't into sports. Our kids were, like, our son plays the trumpet, and they did children's theater. They did their own thing.
And both, we talk about people say multi-sport. I always say be multi-involved.
Yes. Yeah.
There's, people like that lane, well, it's a multi-sport athlete. No, I really wanted to make sure, like you all, as my daughter was multi-involved, not multi-sport.
If you've never,
if sports goes by the wayside.
Right. Yeah. Or you get injured, something happens. Yeah. So for us, watching our kids in children's theater was so cool. If you're a listener out there and you've never gone to a high school or junior high or the children's theater here and seen these kids perform, it's incredible to watch them. I know you've had scholars on that are involved in things like that. And it's so cool because they are still getting that confidence. They're still getting the teamwork aspect. It's just not, the impact, the exercise part of it. So that was what our kids did. So it coming into Farrell's for our kids, it allowed them to build confidence in their fitness and what their bodies could do without the, I don't know what I wouldn't say judgment, but without the.
Well, you had talked about, or when any of our kids start, they're not at school with their peers.
Right. Right.
So they're coming into our space with adults, and there might be one or two other kids that they don't know, but so they don't, when you go to school, you think, oh, people are judging me, looking at me, but in the gym, that, they don't know anybody in there. So
and
they don't have those
we try really hard to treat the kids in our program like they're adults, not in the sense that we're boot camp yelling at them.
I need you to go get that weight, go get an extra pound.
No,
come on, up your weight or whatever.
But we're not talking down to them like they're kids. We're talking to them like they're adults, because the reality is they are doing an adult program. So there probably are some kids that maybe the maturity level or the attention might not quite be there to be able to do a 45-minute kickboxing class or strength training group fitness led class. That doesn't mean there's not some other opportunities for them in the community, but you do have to have that. So they are treated more like an adult. They're treated more like the level of the class versus at school.
The way I look at it is you've made it a community. And it's developmental. If most 15-year-olds shouldn't necessarily be in college, in all college classes.
Right. Yeah.
And so developmentally, you have to look at things. And so, Jeff, I'm kind of interested just from you, what should a community look like of involvement for young people? And just, as you created that, because you have a lot of those components within the gym, but what is one or two of those key elements that need to exist for young people? He's like, dude, I thought you were just going to ask me about the Bears.
Yeah. But no, I'll answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jeff's not very articulate.
Yeah, I am.
Jeff puts
you know what? You need to cue him up for that one.
This is what I'll say. Jeff, and I'll give it.
Dumb it down. Talk to him like he's a 5-year-old.
I need my guest back next week, Ben. No.
You do.
Because Ben's like, you guys answered that question last week.
This is why we love listening to your show, because
They
it
give
makes
such good
they
answers.
really
like,
do.
But this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. I mean, Jeff, kind of on your behalf is when I talk about a community, it's the same thing we want in the classroom.
right.
People
Right.
come in, and I heard you all talking about like just showing up and laying things
Mhm.
out and being ready to come in. And it's something I've talked about, not just here, but when I go to other districts or whatever. When somebody comes in late, because I did. I mean, there were times
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was
It
not,
happens.
like I lived about 25, 30 minutes away, and I knew like there was a window of about
Mhm.
2 minutes. If I had missed it, I
Right.
was coming in late. You all never said, it's about time you got here. Glad you showed
We
up.
might have, but it would have been jokingly.
But
Right.
in all honesty, I
Mhm.
never felt it never was in a way that I did not want to come back.
Right.
And I think about
Right.
that when I think about a community for a school building.
Mhm.
A scholar comes in late, elementary or middle school. Okay. It's about time you got here.
Yeah.
You're late again. Well, they know that.
Yeah.
And you
But
don't
do
know
they
what
have-
happened.
But do they have any control over
That's so
over
true,
that?
especially the
Right.
kids.
Especially if they're driving.
Right.
Like, you
Right.
saw their parents drop them off, they walk in, and I've always said, like, that's the first reception that somebody gets.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so if you sit there like you're late, you're like already at a deficit point.
Yeah,
You're already
that's-
like, I know I'm late. Like I had no control over that. I did not want to be late.
Mhm.
And you all have never done that with a community within the gym. And so
Yeah.
not dumbing it down, just putting that forward, Jeff, like those are things you all provide. So what are some just
Mhm.
they're non-negotiables for you with staff? They're non-negotiables with you as a business owner.
Well, just making people feel welcome is non-negotiable for
Mhm.
us. Like all of our instructors, like, and not making people feel like bad for themselves because they can't do something. Like we want to uplift individuals, so it doesn't matter what fitness level they're at. We want to empower them and make them understand, hey, yeah, you can do this.
Meet
So that's-
them at where they
Meet
are,
them where they're at.
which I
because-
think kids need that too so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
So even more, really.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things
Mm-hmm.
I love, and I oftentimes say it when I go into spaces about various things, is people say, I want you to just, touch the ceiling. I want you to break the glass in the
Mhm.
ceiling. And I said, that's great, but you talked about meeting people where they are. People can't touch the ceiling if their feet aren't at the same spot.
Mhm.
Right.
If most people don't have both feet on the floor, you're asking individuals to jump and touch a ceiling.
Yeah.
That's really unequitable. And so I noticed that whenever I come into space, whether I was gone for a month or there for 2 months, I
Mhm.
remember the multi-hour, the full day challenges,
Mhm.
what I call
Last
it.
chance workout.
Yeah, the last chance
Mhm.
workout. I went in there and the young man, I had him on and it was
Zach.
Zach, and
Yep.
it was
Mhm.
phenomenal. But I remember getting there at 5 a.m. and here's Zach sitting there.
Mhm.
And he's going, you can tell like he's kind of there, but he's looking at me. I
Mhm.
think he thought I was Des Moines Adams or whatever. I was like, it's 5 a.m. Things are blurry. I mean, you're a 14-year-old,
Right.
whatever kid.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I'm
He's
with
like,
my
that
mom.
guy could be a football player, or if he's a football player.
But about 5:30, he didn't care.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
like, but he's going,
Right.
and people were high-fiving him, fist pumping
Yeah.
him, and everything else. And it was probably about, because it goes till
3 hours.
3 hours,
Mm-hmm. Till
and
8.
probably about 7 o'clock. I remember he was done.
Mhm.
And he tapped out and he went in the bathroom. And
Mhm.
I think and mom was still going. She was
Mm-hmm.
going to commit to it. She's like, he's done a great job. And I remember multiple people, like we go in the restroom and I was like, okay, one, is he okay?
Yeah.
My
Right.
school teacher thing was like, is he okay?
Mhm.
But an instructor went in, then other people went in. And I remember going in and he's just sitting, he's kind of sitting in the stall, like, I hope nobody needs to use this. I
Yeah.
hope nobody needs to use this. And like he came out and like just finished the workout.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, this kid, there's something special about that. And it wasn't just because his mom, it was because all those
Oh, yeah.
other individuals and those instructors, nobody shamed him. Nobody said, where have you been?
Right.
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 Our
Nobody-
members love seeing kids
Yeah.
in class. I think there's nothing more motivating than seeing a kid doing something that, and yeah, a lot of times with teenagers, especially, that motivation is a little more kind of up and down, little more sometimes they're super into it and they want to be there, and sometimes they don't want to be there. But I think as adults we forget what it's like to be a kid and not have that control. So you're going to be there no matter what, because you don't really have a choice as a kid.
Adults are the same way.
No, because the adult would just have stayed home. Like
sometimes,
right? No,
sometimes.
I think we forget that as adults, that there was a time where we didn't have a choice, and we could have, like, the choice was made for us, and we had to go whether or not we wanted to or not. And so I think that is so encouraging for our members, because they do kind of want to step in sometimes and help encourage those kids when they're seeing their house. And you don't know what kind of day that they've had. Maybe they had a rough day, and so we would never belittle a kid and be like, you could do more. We could encourage them.
We have a kid now that comes at night and he walks to the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
comes at 5:30. His name's ASOS. Started with his mom, and his mom's busy, and he walks to the gym, works out, walks home. I mean, awesome.
And he loves
Awesome.
it.
He
And
loves
even
it.
they started over the summer session, and he was going to come at 7, and she was like, well, you can come with me at 4:30. And he really enjoyed that little slice of freedom that he was going to get, a little bit of independence, where he knew he could walk there, he could do his workout, he could come in, and he didn't have to worry about what the other kids in the room were doing and what they were wearing and what he was wearing. He knew he could just come in and do his workout, and then he got to go home. And it was just like such a confidence boost on that independence level, which I think kids needs too.
I love that.
Yep.
So before we go to break, I don't like I didn't have to prep you for this.
Oh, no, it's fine. Jeff loves, we give Jeff a hard time,
But I would like to know, just like, what is, as you've listened to the show, and I know this is kind of going back in the memory bank, what is the best piece of advice or best thing that you've heard from the scholars that you're like, okay, wait a minute, dang, like they should be a keynote, or this is something that's kind of still resonated with me over the course of time, or maybe it was a guest or whatever. I know you don't, every single show it's 8 a.m. and you're coming in, but what's one piece that it was kind of just like, okay, this stuck with me?
Jeff has a terrible memory, but I love it. Right. I know. I just love their perspective and how I think the kids, the scholars, for me, they have such a curiosity for what's possible that adults don't have anymore. We lose that, so I really love it when they try to encourage, because they're talking, but they're talking how they would talk to their peers too. And so my favorite is when they're so confident, and they're like, just do it. Just go out and try something and do something. And we lose that as adults too. So as much as kids need to hear that, adults need to hear that too. Like, say hi to someone, give them a smile, you encourage somebody, because we don't always see that with kids either, but we also don't always give them the space to allow their voice to be heard either. So all these, there's kids in all of our lives that probably have those ambitions and want to do that, but we don't give them a platform. So that's my favorite, is just that they're very articulate. It is amazing. It's encouraging.
Jeff, my question to you is, what is the best piece of advice you received as a young person that has moved you on to this day?
Oh my gosh.
The look on your faces.
All right, Jeff, what's your favorite NFL team?
I know.
The Bears. There we go.
There's nothing nothing that a coach has said, or
just best. Maybe your wife.
Take a breath, calm down.
Gosh, I just
stop worrying about things before they happen.
I don't know if I had any encouraging. I mean, I'm just trying. Yeah, this is a long time ago.
Well, was there a person when you were younger that had a relationship with you that really still to this day kind of resonates?
I just don't think so.
All right, how do you think the Huskers are going to do next week?
That's hilarious. I can think of one.
Okay, yes.
I can think of the times that you've gone fishing with your grandpa, and that's something that you never did with anyone else. And then he took the time.
Yeah,
Grandpa Willardson took the time to take you guys out.
30 seconds before we go to break.
Yeah,
he's my step grandpa.
Yes, yeah,
but always treated me like I was his own grandson.
Mm-hmm.
So a really good memory I have is we went on a fishing trip to Minnesota with my cousin and my grandpa. This is the three of us.
Yeah,
it was like a 5-day fishing trip.
Wow.
So that's a memory has stuck with
It's
me.
something you never would have done
Nope,
on
never
your
would've
own
done.
or
Nope.
with anyone else, and you
Nope.
took the time and invested in
Invested in me. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was kind of cool.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to thank you all just personally for pouring into me.
Mhm.
Like I said, even though I have not been there in the mornings, but you have been
It's
always
fine.
supportive of the scholars. You've been supportive of me when I came back into the gym and just the things that I've done. So with that being
Mhm.
said, make sure you listen to Fitness Fanatics 9 to 11 every Sunday. And if you haven't signed up, there's still time to sign up for the 10-week challenge at Farrell. So
That's right.
we'll be back with 93.7 The Ticket, bigger than the score.
Mhm.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Attention, Nebraska. It's time to show off the best our state has to offer. Help Beatrice Bakery's famous fruitcake snag the title of coolest thing in Nebraska. Made with love and loaded with local flavor, this fruitcake isn't just a treat, it's a tradition. Cast your vote today and let's put Beatrice Bakery on the map. Vote now and make the fruitcake of Beatrice Bakery the coolest thing in Nebraska. Visit theticketfm.com and click the link to vote. That's theticketfm.com. Go and vote now.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Experience a cleaner tomorrow with Nieder House Refuse. Whether it's weekly residential pickups, large-scale commercial disposals, recycling, or roll-off, Nieder House's team is here with reliable, efficient service and the most advanced solutions. Discover the difference that a committed and experienced waste management company can make. Nieder House Refuse has been in business for over 100 years and is family-owned and operated since 1921. Call Nieder House Refuse at 402-475-8361 and visit their website at nbrefuselincoln.com to learn more or sign up for your service today.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through September 15th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice Boneless New York strip steaks for $7.99 each. USDA Choice Boneless Beef Crock Pot Roast for $4.99 per pound, fresh salmon fillets for $9.99 per pound, and Bush Light 30 packs for just $18.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention! For a limited time, Acres is offering 1.9% for 60 months on remaining 22 and 23 John Deere combines. This extraordinary low interest rate, along with Acres' discounted pricing, allows you to upgrade your equipment before harvest and lock in incredible savings. And with Acres' A-plus support package included, you'll be up and running throughout the harvest season. Act now. This special rate won't last long. Visit acres.com for details. That's AKRS.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. On the block with Strick and Austin.
Vicky, you were in college, and around during the heyday.
yeah.
So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're saying that tells me there's something to it.
Bro, it was next level. And I'm talking about, I was in there for when they played Washington. I've been in there for Oklahoma, Nebraska. I've been in there for Colorado, Nebraska, 1-2s, 1-3s. And look, it was good, but that was next level.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined on the ones and twos this morning. Always appreciative of Ben making it happen. So we got a beautiful day outside and a little bit of an adjustment on the show this morning due to illness. I had one of our guests were not able to make it, but we had Fitness Fanatics. We had Jeff and Nicole stick in for what we're calling the brunch. Instead of the spillover, the brunch segment. So appreciative of them, their insight, and I will make sure that I don't put Jeff on the spot anymore with deep questions.
Don't do that.
A couple shout outs just as it's been a weekend, and I know we started off just going right into them, wanted to honor their time, is just a lot of things that have gone on. Again, just do want to give my condolences out to those in Windsor, Georgia, from the shooting that happened about a week and a half ago. Still, seeing some of the things resonate from that. And then also more locally, just thoughts out to the Northwest high school community up at Omaha Northwest who experienced some senseless, gun violence, but also know that impacts the young people that are there. And so had some colleagues and some friends and individuals out in that space. And so just want to send our thoughts and well wishes to all those and the recovery of an individual that was physically impacted, but know that there was some mental impact as well for those young people. And just continued well wishes as we kind of move on with the course of the year. A lot of stuff going on in the community. It is Hispanic Heritage Month. And so got the opportunity to go to the Hispanic Festival, the Latino Festival at Antelope Park yesterday.
Nice.
Full house. I mean, the town was jumping. There was an arts festival in Sunken Gardens and everything else, but that is always a highlight. Romero, the executive director at El Centro de las Americas, does a phenomenal job. He and the volunteers and staff. It's just that, Ben, when there's an event being undertaken, how significant and how huge that is, and tremendous amount of local nonprofit vendors there, as well as just food vendors, and then just the celebration of the Latinx, Hispanic, Latino, just culture, and so got some good food as well. And so was really appreciative of that. Was told to try the lemonade, and that was definitely on point. So again, just thank you for everybody who supported that. And then, with that, we've just got school continuing to go on, local athletics. I know the Ticket has done a number of football games.
Yeah,
and so,
high school football.
Yeah, so that's rolling. We're kind of, I don't say to the midpoint. We're about a third of the way through of that. So you're starting to see some things shape out, starting to see some teams gain some traction. Also some teams that are kind of having some must needed wins. You've got that, you've got golf, you've got soccer, you've got softball going on. So it is really right now, I would say probably the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're seeing for high school sports, just really volleyball, everything really kicking into full gear. And then before you know it, you're going to start transitioning into conference and districts. And then you've got your first state contest coming up here in October before the weather starts to change.
Yeah, I mean, it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Like the fall season, there's just so much that happens. I mean, you got volleyball, football, basketball is gonna be here before you know it. I mean, just there's so much stuff that's going on right now, and I mean, it's such an exciting time of the year.
Well, you see the homecoming pictures, and you know that once the homecoming pictures start showing up, I think it starts getting real for some young people. That they're like, I've had some texts and like, dude, my senior year is over. I'm like, what do you mean?
Your senior year
we had
is
homecoming.
not over. Oh my gosh, guys. Your senior year is not over.
But that's the reality for me when I start seeing some of that. I'm like, okay, the school year is in full shift. It went from that beginning of things to that. So congratulations to those that are having homecoming spirit weeks in the area, not just Lincoln Public Schools, but parochial, private, the area like Seward, Crete. Just enjoy yourself, but please be careful. And just be responsible on that.
I was never much of a homecoming person.
You weren't? Okay.
I went to homecoming my freshman year, and then I was like, I'd rather all my friends, what we would do is we would all go to one of my friends' house and we would just play video games all night. That's what we did.
So homecoming, do you suggest homecoming and prom? Do you suggest going with friends or going with a date? Because you see all the postcards and the boards and unique ways to ask somebody. And I'm kind of 50-50. So I'm curious your thoughts on what that looked like, not necessarily for you, but as you may have children, would you want somebody to basically to me, that's like a mini proposal. And I don't know how to handle that very well.
I mean, I am not big on dating in high school.
Okay.
I never even really considered dating in high school. I was just like, 99% of relationships that are in high school, just like that, why it just don't usually come to fruition with college because, you're probably going to go to a different college. So then you're going to be in different states or different cities. That's hard. So, but I mean, if you're just wanting a date just to have a date to prom, I mean, sure, I guess more power to you. I'd rather go with friends personally.
Okay.
I'm more of a friend person. It's like, oh, I have to spend the entire night with this one person. I'd rather just, not be like tied to, the one person that you have to go to.
Right. I think it's just that transition on kind of where you're at. Like, I don't think we're the most mature as males sometimes anyways.
No.
And so it just leaves it open to kind of screw things up because all of a sudden you see your boys over there and you're like, hey, and you're like, no, man, my mom and dad told me to treat you a certain way and I'm not doing it. So,
I mean, a lot of things that people do is they just want a date to say they went with somebody. And then as soon as they get to prom, they go and hang out with their friends.
No,
that's what a lot of people do.
Okay. I just haven't been. I haven't chaperoned. I kept myself out of that space.
Unless they're like actually dating, like a lot of people are just like, oh, I have a date to the prom. That's just like, so when they're taking pictures, they were taking pictures with somebody. It's more of like that. And then once they get to prom, they're probably not going to hang out with
Okay.
That's kind of, at least that's what I've seen.
I agree with you. I just think, like I said, I've just always been kind of curious. I like what would you prefer? And so I think I would prefer the friends.
That's kind of me,
especially at that point.
It's not fake, but it's kind of just like, oh, you're just saying you're going out with them just so the pictures just says you were with somebody. Like I don't need that reassurance. I don't need that to be able to say I had a good time. I can go with friends. Be
Ben's willing to just go with friends, and we appreciate that.
Maybe I'm the loner. Maybe I'm a loner or something. I don't know.
I'll pose that question to some of our scholars and everything. So, hey, Ben, I'm going to flip the script a little bit because some people have asked. They're like, okay, you know what? You're always drilling kids. And it was ironic with Jeff being in here because it's like, man, when do people ask you questions? And last week, Harrison flipped it. He says, Pete, that's a great question. Give me your answer. You always ask the scholars. And so I'm going to let you kind of go ahead and just, I don't say grill me, but ask some of those similar questions and just interview me. I know you are one of the head people for the Daily Nebraskan. And so you're a proficient and very good at this. And so I want to see, and then you can give me a grade at the end.
I'll give you a grade.
And we'll go from that.
I'm not a teacher.
So we'll let you go ahead and kind of interview me in regards to Bigger Than the Score and my personal journey.
I mean, the first thing I want to ask is this: why do you feel like this show is so important to you? I don't know if I don't know what questions Harrison all asked.
No, it was just one question, but that, we've never laid that foundation, but, about probably in October, it'll be 2 years that we've had Bigger Than the Score, and we've never really sat down and said what the origin of the show was. And so DP and I had made a connection. I want to believe it was at the Inspire Women's event. 2+ years ago.
Okay.
And we had some scholars that I had been connected with that got recognized. He had reached out. I remember we just had coffee and had lunch, and we were talking about had some similar philosophies that aligned with one another about just elevating people in spaces. And he oftentimes always speaks about love. And I was like, man, he's just this dude. I don't know why I didn't know who he was in this community as in that capacity. But he said, do you want to come on a show? And he said, I've been looking about, just providing opportunities for young people to lift and elevate their voice, and came on. And I remember it was a Sunday, and we had talked about, just each week or, once a month or whatever, providing an opportunity to lift young people's voices. And I remember after that was over, he said, okay, you're on your own. You got it next week. And if you know DP, that's just kind of how he is. He either sees it in you or he doesn't. And he had poured into me and entrusted me with the opportunity to profile young people. And I feel sometimes when you get an opportunity, it's not about you. Yes, it's Bigger Than the Score. And so I really wanted it to be about something bigger than, the station is based on athletics, based on sports. That's the foundation. But everything that he brings in, everything that you're about, giving young individuals that are up and coming in the business, giving them an opportunity. It's bigger than, are you the best and the baddest? Are you the football captain? Are you the volleyball captain? It's about being multi-involved and wanting to have an opportunity to tell those stories and bring those individuals. It has been the highlight of my week, honestly. Bringing third graders in. And I remember one young man, his knee was bouncing at the old studio and it was hitting the bottom of the table. So at that place, you could hear it on the mic. I heard this thumping. And I'm like, what is that? And I saw his knee. He was so nervous, but he was answering questions so fluidly. And I asked, what is one of the biggest challenges? What's a piece of advice that you'd have? And he said, me and my dad were talking about this last night. And he goes, I stutter. And I was like, wow, I had no clue you stuttered from the answers, how he was composing himself, giving the answers. And he said, me and my dad said, make whatever you're scared of afraid of you not be afraid of it. And that was one of the first 3 or 4 shows. And to be honest, at that moment, that to me was why I'm in this space.
That's cool.
And so I'm truly appreciative of it because it is about Bigger Than the Score. It was about that young man saying it wasn't about something that most people would see as a deficit, but he saw it as a strength. And he said, again, make it afraid of you, not you be afraid of it.
Yeah, because a lot of people have fear kind of control their life. It's just oh, I don't want to do that because I'm scared on what'll happen if I go and do that.
Yeah.
Getting outside your comfort zone. I feel like that's something that everyone needs to make sure they're doing.
Without question.
And the way I've been doing that this year was, so for one of my classes, I have a coaching minor.
Okay.
So for one of my classes with that, I have to coach a youth sport team. So I'm coaching a flag football team. I've never done that before, way outside my comfort zone, but it's been a lot of fun.
So what is the best piece of advice that you feel like you've given them so far?
Just have fun, because so many of them, especially with boys, you want to, what's the score? Yeah. What's the score? Are we winning? I'm just like, we're just trying to improve every day and have fun. That's what sports is supposed to be about. I know that gets lost maybe at the end of your high school career, especially if you get into college, that'll get lost. But at the end of the day, it's a sport. This is supposed to be fun. And that's kind of the main thing I've been trying to push.
Oh, fantastic! You're crushing it. We'll have to come out there once and be some of the Benzito fan club.
I feel like you'll be judging me. I don't want to be judged.
Oh, awesome! All right, go ahead. Hit me with another one.
Hit you with another one. What would you say? Outside of that moment, what are just kind of some other moments that have kind of just been eye opening to you from what kids have said on your shows?
Yeah, it's even the last couple weeks. We kicked off September, and I think about Nainoa, I think about Abel, who we had in here last week. Just them, how they talked about like failure is the first step to success.
Mhm.
Hearing statements like
And
that,
they know that.
and they not only know it, but they're putting it forward, and then that means they're investing in pieces to understand that in portions of their lives, and being willing to share that with others in an audience and in a space that is somewhat foreign to them. That those have been moments that have been huge. I go back to the old studio. I mean, this place is phenomenal, but I think one of the more lighthearted ones is when people walk in, the first thing they're like, man, those chairs are so cool. I keep wanting to tell DP, like, I know there's a lot of stuff on the website to buy and t-shirts, but you got to sell these chairs. Like I would tell you almost every scholar that has come in here has just like looked at these chairs and were like, these chairs are absolutely awesome.
That's the thing that got them.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the other moment for me, I mean, there's been so many. I think each week, I learned something. But before we go to break, it was a situation where we're in the old studio, and the parents could sit in the studio in the back. It was really cramped, but they sat in, and one young man was speaking, and I had just turned my head, and I saw his father wiping his eyes, and wiping tears from his eyes, and I remember afterwards, I was like, man, I appreciate it. And I think I asked him to get on air, and I didn't say like, why are you crying? He just said, he says, you know what? He says, I've seen this in my son forever, and he says, it is moving me so much right now. I'm so proud that other people are getting to see what I see in him. Yeah. And to me, that's what 93.7 The Ticket's about. That's what Bigger Than the Score is about. That's what each of the individuals in this space are about, is making sure that others see maybe what we see.
Want everyone
each and every day. Yeah.
All right. Well, we better throw it to break. We'll have one more segment after this before we throw it over to the breeze. You're listening to Bigger Than the Score right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
IT issues wreaking havoc on your day? It's time to hire the experts. It's time to hire Hamilton. When it comes to your business, you don't have time to worry about network security, data backup, and protection, or support when devices slow down or stop working. At Hamilton, we ensure that your technology is up to speed and works as hard as you do. Don't let IT issues slow you down. You deserve better. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Attention! For a limited time, Acres is offering 1.9% for 60 months on remaining 22 and 23 John Deere combines. This extraordinary low interest rate, along with Acres' discounted pricing, allows you to upgrade your equipment before harvest and lock in incredible savings. And with Acres' A-plus support package included, you'll be up and running throughout the harvest season. Act now. This special rate won't last long. Visit acres.com for details. That's AKRS.com.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined on the ones and twos with Ben. Always appreciative of that. A little bit of a transition this Sunday morning. We had in studio earlier to kick off things with Jeff and Nicole with Fitness Fanatics, and we called it the brunch, a little spillover, so to speak. And then Ben's been kind of grilling me. And so we only got a couple minutes left on this segment as we've been profiling maybe some of the moments, why Bigger Than the Score came to fruition. Ben, I'm going to give you, like I said, I always ask scholars the final question. I'll let you kind of ask me a final question or two.
Have you ever answered the question, love is? Have you ever answered that?
You know what? I may have, but I think my answer is love is, and it's my purpose. It's to empower, educate, and engage. And for me, I really want to switch that empower piece. I was in a session with Dr. Doug Patterson, and he talked about he was sick and tired of the word being used, empower, because he says we all have power. And I felt that was so appropriate because we all have the power to love.
Yeah.
We don't want to just empower people to love. We all have the power. We should do it ourselves. And so, I want to be around people who have power in a way, whether it's young people, whether it's elderly people, not just be a person that gives that to other people, but they pour into me that power. We always want to be around people that educate. People like ask me to be in spaces to do that, but I want to be in space that I become educated as well. And I with my tongue in cheek kind of say, I want to get my doctorate from the community, and there's so many things that go on in this community that you can get your doctorate from the community. And the last thing is engaging. If you are an individual, people do it. There's introverts, there's extroverts. You can be either. I'm a closet introvert, to be perfectly honest. I'm like you. I love video games. I used to know how to program computers, Napster, download music, Commodore 64. That was my thing. But be an individual that can engage, but also individuals that engage with me.
Real quick before we end the show, are the Cowboys winning today?
You know what?
How you feeling?
They're at home, and so that is a tough play. For their opening day, they rarely lose their opening game at home. I am a little scared about this game, to be perfectly honest. The Saints, unknown, some new things. They showed out last week. I wish I would have saved some of that
It's against
this
the
week.
Panthers, though.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with a 10-point win.
Ooh,
they're going to pull it out in the fourth quarter, and they're going to go into next week 2-0. And we can say, how about them Cowboys?
I won't be saying how about them Cowboys.
Oh, you will.
No.
You will.
Well, see, because I'm in a dire situation with my Dolphins because the Dolphins are in shambles right now.
You know what? First off, just you want the health of that individual, Tua to be first and foremost. But that's going to be interesting to see what happens in here in the next month for them.
Yeah, it's their season's in shambles right now. Tua, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. Dolphins, they got the Seahawks this week. Well, they have the Seahawks next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, hey, thanks again for joining us on this Sunday on Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson, BHS LLC. We'll see you next week.